Let's take a look at the chart action for Ethereum. Okay, so here is what I'm looking at on Ethereum. I had a triangle pattern, kind of like a channel pattern, and we actually broke this going to the upside. I had a target of around 3,861. Let me go ahead and just delete this, and I'll show you how I got there from scratch. So we had resistance, 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 support, support. I was watching these trend lines, something like this. We had a downtrend, and then we had a uptrend or like a bottom, something like this. We were bouncing in between these two trend lines, and I was hoping, or I was waiting for a breakout to the upside or to the downside. I was saying if we could break this going to the upside, the next spots that I'll be looking at is, or actually there's a couple of things that I'll be looking at. I'll be dragging from the top to the bottom of this triangle slash channel, something like that. It's kind of like a triangle. Drag it from the top to the bottom, somewhere right here. This is just my opinion where I'm dragging from, but I like using the points. We have a point right here of contact, point right here contact, and a point right here contact, and it's kind of in the middle. I like shooting for the middle of the pattern. So drag from the top to the bottom of that pattern, and then we'll drag this to the breakout, something like this. And I was looking at a target of approximately 3,859. The other spots that I was looking at before we can get to this target though are the previous resistances, which are right here and right here. So let's go ahead and set up some horizontal red lines at those spots right there, the previous resistances. We have one right there, and we were actually able to break through that resistance. The next one that I'm looking at is this one over here. So the first one is sitting at 3,246. We were actually able to break through that. Now it looks like we're having a little bit of trouble on this resistance right here, sitting around 3,373. I think if we could break above this one though, the target that I'm looking at in general is this previous resistance and this target, this channel pattern or this triangle pattern right here sitting at 3,859, and it lines up kind of with this previous resistance over here. Let's go ahead and do another horizontal red line at this resistance. The resistance is sitting at 3,826. The other thing I'm watching is this uptrend right here, but we have support right here. We have support, support, support. Let's go ahead and do an uptrend off those points right there. I'm on the daily time frame right now. We'll do an uptrend, something like this. So as long as we are riding this uptrend, then in my opinion, maybe we'll get support on it, and we can look at these targets up here. If we break this trend line going to the downside, that might be a signal that we might be changing direction. We need to break out of this little resistance area right here, but I think once we do, then I'll be looking at this target of around 3,800 approximately. So this is my speculation. I think hopefully we can break out of this little resistance area right here. Once we do, then maybe we'll come hit my target. Once we hit this area, we might get a pullback. This is just what I'm thinking or speculating. And if we zoom out, I talked about this in my Bitcoin video as well. We had this little downtrend. This is the Ethereum video. This is the Ethereum chart though, but we had this downtrend right here. We had a top pretty much something like this. We came down, got a bounce, and started heading up to this area over here, which is pretty much the area that I'm looking at targeting in general. We got a pullback and we came down and we retested the top over here. We actually got a bounce on this top, or which was the previous top, and now it was a bottom. We got a bounce on it and started heading back to the upside. So my speculation is that we come up, hit the target, get a pullback, and come back down and have to retest this resistance area, and then hopefully we can get a bounce on it and continue to head up. Just my speculation and just what I'm thinking. Not a guarantee or promise or anything like that, that's what's going to happen. Like I said, the main thing I'm watching is this trend line going up. As long as we're on this trend line, then I'm looking at this target up here, and I really want to break out of this resistance zone before we can get to this target. And if you're new to trading, check out this video right here. It's about trading strategies, and I go over some of the more things I talked about in this video in detail. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys like the video, hit that thumbs up.